Hello, what's up? My name is Daria. Welcome to my channel Days, and this is day 3 of 30 days till 30. I don't have to tell you that, but again, it's 3:30, maybe a little bit more. But this time, the full blame goes to the Stardew Valley and the American news, as those are my usual forms of detachment. I got really tired. I got so surprisingly tired making a freaking title sequence today for the day 2 video, to make it reusable for next videos. I don't know, it just exhausted me at some point, and I'm like, okay, I need to detach for a moment, and then it just never stopped. But it's fine, it's okay. Otherwise, I finished reading this book by J.D. Salinger. These are 2 short stories, Raise High the Roof Beam Carpenters and Seymour an Introduction. I don't even know for how long I have this particular book. I got it from a charity shop like at least a year ago for $2.50, and just like it just stayed on my shelf for a bit, which is a normal life cycle of a book, in my case. But I recently needed to read something fictional, and you know, it has a very friendly size to it. But in terms of substance of the book, these are 2 short stories related to his fictional family, Glass family, and these 2 concern the brother of the narrator. The narrator's name is Buddy Glass, and the brother's name is Seymour Glass, respectively. They are the oldest brothers in the family. The first story is about Seymour's wedding day, and Seymour does not appear in flesh throughout the whole story, which is adorable. It's just about how Buddy Glass ended up with a small group of relatives of the bride, under the impression that the wedding was cancelled, and how those interactions go. And the second one is sort of a series of diaries of Buddy trying to describe Seymour 10 years after Seymour's suicide. And so he's trying to like describe who his brother was, what did he do, what he did, what he was, what he looked like, just like a number of anecdotes and some descriptions of Seymour by other relatives, and such. And to be particularly like honest, I had to Google the wiki page. I had to check out the wiki page for the book to understand whether these are fictional characters, because I was just like, I was reading and I could completely believe that he's just like J.D. Salinger is describing his brother. And I learned that the Franny and Zooey is the previous story in this kind of like, I don't know if you can call it a series, but it's just like these are separate stories about like set in a particular world of the Glass family. What really interests me about this book and how it's written, first, he's so verbose and I had to just accept it at some point. I'm like, I love the neurotic verbosity when you try to express something, a particular thought, or describe a particular situation, or say something specific, but you also kind of feel the urge to over explain yourself, and this over explanation kind of like spills onto the page as well. And again, I understand that this is a work of fiction. It's not a, these are not diaries, these are not memoirs, but it's still like sticking with the over explanation, this neurotic over explanation as a stylistic choice, kind of, I don't know, warms my heart a lot. And also his language is very like rich, so a lot of the time, I know it might not be noticeable, but English is indeed my second language. I just had to accept that some words are just going to wash over me. I will let them wash over me because I kind of forget them from the context. I understand the vibe of the sentence. And so, because I try to read without my devices present, I don't want to like Google the words, you know. I check the meaning of the certain words if I don't know them. So I'm accepting that these words are just going to penetrate my subconscious without necessarily pursuing their more like stable meaning. And the other thing that really interests me specifically about the Race High the Roof Beam Carpenter's story is that it heavily features Seymour's diaries, which means that J.D. Salinger is writing a story from the perspective of Buddy Glass, but Buddy Glass on his way encounters Seymour's diaries, and so he has like two different, related but different voices that are present in this book. I understand that it's not. I understand this is not. It's not. This is nothing like completely surprising because a lot of writers do such a thing. But I don't know. It's just, it all sounds very amazing, and I think I sort of prefer Seymour's voice, but mostly because it's kind of like, it's a diary and it's a bit warmer and it's a bit like, it's a bit more tender and gentler. Whereas Buddy's voice is much more neurotic, as I said before, which I love as well in its own way. But and from the Seymour's diary, I would like to just read you a little passage that is particularly precious to me, if I may. So to explain like the context, Seymour is describing an episode of the radio show that all of the siblings in the Glass family participated in different stages of their lives when they were younger, and he and I think his future mother-in-law were listening to a newer episode, so with his younger siblings, of this radio show. And so it goes. After dinner, Mrs. Fedder suggested we listen to the program. Her enthusiasm, her nostalgia for the program, especially for the old days when Buddy and I were on it, makes me uneasy. Tonight it was broadcast from some naval airbase, of all places, near San Diego. Much too many pedantic questions and answers. Franny sounded as though she had a head cold Zoe was in dreamy top form. The announcer had them off on the subject of housing developments, and the little Berkey girl said she hated houses that all look alike, meaning a long row of identical development houses. Zoe said they were, air quotes, nice. He said it would be very nice to come home and be in the wrong house, to eat dinner with the wrong people by mistake, sleep in the wrong bed by mistake, and kiss everybody goodbye in the morning thinking they were your own family. He said you'd keep thinking everybody you met was your wife or your mother or father, and people would always be throwing their arms around each other wherever they went, and it would look, air quotes, very nice. I don't know, this, oh, I forgot to put back the, yeah, here it is. I don't know, this like utopian idea of, the ultimate equality where everyone is the same, and so you can just like, there's no fear of living the wrong life because every life path you take is is equally valid and loving. Like in this particular passage, Zoe, I'm not sure how old he is there, but it's there's certain youngness to his view of how we all could just get along and have no particular difference. We're just all, if everyone could be wherever they want to be and just swing by different lives, sort of. He describes it as by mistake, but I'm not sure if there is a space for mistake in this situation. There's no mistakes there because you just live a life, and every life path is open to you, and everyone is open to you. It touches me just on this, on its own. It's this idea of not being scared that you might live a wrong life, but in particular also because in a text by one of my favorite bands, they also like reach for this idea, but because their overall creative output is more is on more of a depressive side and on more of a like nihilistic side, I would say, more meaningless, not like on inside that nothing has any meaning, and the cruelty and suffering are inescapable. And they primarily describe this like cruelty in very mundane scenarios, which I love them for. And they also utilize this idea of just like I'll go to a wrong city, I'll end up in the wrong city, I'll end up in the wrong on the wrong bus, on a street where no one is waiting for me. I'll get into bed with someone else's wife, and they will put me in someone else's coffin. And in this kind of version of this particular idea, the fear of living the wrong life is there. It's given to you like on a plate. I'm scared that this life I'm living is not the one I is not mine, it's someone else's life, and I feel this, and this discrepancy is very palpable. Even though you might not know what the correct life is, you just know, you only can feel discrepancy, but it doesn't help you. So yeah, this is what I wanted to tell you about today, and I think I am done, and it's time to go to bed. I need to check that I uploaded the day 2 video and then to bed. Thank you very much, and I see you tomorrow.